Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something a bit different, maybe off the beaten path for typical tech talk. We're looking at rugged phones. Not your everyday sleek smartphone, but those really robust devices built for tough conditions. And we've got some fascinating data here from Cognitive Market Research, their Global Rugged Phones Market Projections and Analysis. Our mission really is to break down these, well, pretty dense projections and pull out the surprising stuff for you. Why should you care? Well, even if you don't own one, the numbers tell a really interesting story about work, industry, and resilience in tech. It's a growth story you might not expect.
Exactly. And the data isn't just showing growth, it's pinpointing where that growth is happening and, crucially, how fast. We get a real snapshot of performance across different regions, different countries. Some of the speeds might surprise you.
Okay, so let's start with that big global picture then. The source puts the market size in 2021 at $844.89 million. So quite substantial already.
Substantial, yeah. But the projection is where it gets interesting.
Right, it's projected to jump to $300 and $675 million by 2025. And then, get this, $632.55 million by 2033. That's more than double the 2021 figure.
It really is. And if you look at the compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, it's 6.61% over that whole period, 2021 to 2033.
Yeah.
That's not just a blip. I mean, that signifies really consistent, solid growth over more than a decade.
A really strong, sustained trend then. Okay, let's zoom in. North America seems like a good place to start. It's a major chunk of the market.
Definitely a key region.
Yeah. In 2021, it was already valued at $186.75 million, and that's expected to grow to $370.78 million in 2025, and then hit nearly $2.2 billion, $295.45 million by 2033.
And the CAGR there is 6.064%.
Yeah.
Pretty healthy.
Within that, the U.S. is obviously the leader, right? Starting at $740 million in 2021, heading towards $1.4 billion by 2033.
That's right. The U.S. market is the largest piece, growing at a steady 5.644% CAGR. But interestingly, Canada's growth is actually a bit faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Canada goes from about $255 million in 2021 up to nearly $550 million by 2033 with a 6.554% CAGR. Maybe that's tied to its large natural resource sectors or just the vast geography needing tougher tech for field work.
That makes sense. But hold on, Mexico looks like the real standout in North America, growth-wise.
Ah, yes, Mexico.
It starts smaller, sure, around $91 million in 2021, but it's projected to reach $221.7 million by 2033, and look at that CAGR, 7.755%.
That is high. It's the fastest in North America. It really suggests maybe significant industrial growth, maybe manufacturing expansion or logistics. Something is driving a big uptake of durable devices there.
Fascinating. Okay, let's cross the pond to Europe. How's the picture looking there?
Europe's also showing solid growth. It was valued at $580 million back in 2021.
And a projection.
Looking to reach $735 million in 2025 and then break the billion mark, hitting $1,183.58 million by 2033. That's a CAGR of 6.136%, so pretty much in line with North America overall.
Okay, and within Europe, any key players or surprises?
Well, you've got the usual suspects showing steady growth. The UK, for example, goes from $121 million to about $234 million. That's a 5.676% CAGR. France, a bit slower at 5.438%. Germany, quite similar to the UK at 5.666%. Italy is a little faster, actually, at 6.014%.
So steady growth in the big economies, but are there faster growing spots?
Yes, definitely. Russia, for instance, shows a stronger growth rate, 6.728% CAGR.
Okay.
And Spain is even more notable. It goes from $55 million to $129 million with a CAGR of 7.421%. That's quite high for Europe.
Wow, yeah, that's getting closer to Mexico's rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And perhaps the most surprising part, the rest of Europe category.
The smaller nations lumped together.
Right. That group actually has the highest CAGR in Europe, a pretty remarkable 8.872%, starting from around $32 million and heading towards $90 million.
So growth isn't just concentrated in the big industrial centers. Interesting.
It really suggests broader adoption, maybe in emerging sectors or countries undergoing faster digital shifts in areas like utilities or construction. Although it's worth noting, the report does point out Luxembourg as the slowest grower in Europe.
Really? How slow?
Just under 3% CAGR, so there's definitely variation across the continent.
Okay, good context. Now, Asia Pacific, the outline suggests this is where the really rapid growth is happening.
Oh, absolutely. APAC is definitely the powerhouse region for rugged phone growth.
Okay, hit me with the numbers.
So it started at $802 million in 2021, already a big market. Projected to hit $173 million in 2025, and then surged to over $1.9 billion. That's $913.35 million by 2033.
Wow, and the CAGR?
Highest regional CGR we've seen, 7.497%.
Okay, so who's driving that? China must be huge.
China is definitely a major driver. It accounts for a large slice, going from roughly $295 million to $769 million by 2033. And its growth rate is very strong, too, 8.22% CGR.
Yeah.
Massive industrial base, logistics. It makes sense.
But wait, the outline mentioned India. Is that the real star here?
India is, well, it's phenomenal. It has the highest CAGR of any single country reported in this source.
Get out. What is it?
9.276%.
9.276%. Incredible.
Yeah, starting from about $86 million in 2021 and projected to reach almost $250 million by 2033, nearly tripling. It speaks volumes about, rapid digitalization, infrastructure projects, maybe e-commerce, logistics,
Yeah.
demanding environments needing tough tech.
That's a massive indicator. What about other places in APAC? Japan? Korea?
Japan shows solid growth, around 5.8% CGR, growing from $167 million to $329 million. Still significant. South Korea is growing faster, though, at 7.269% CGR, likely driven by its tech and manufacturing sectors.
And Australia.
Australia is looking at about 6.2% CGR, growing from $45 million towards $96 million. Probably linked to mining, agriculture, those sorts of industries.
Okay, quite the dynamic picture in APAC. Let's quickly cover the other regions. South America.
South America is also expanding nicely, from $148 million in 2021 towards $331 million in 2033. That's a 6.859% CAGR overall.
Brazil leads there, I assume.
Brazil's the biggest market, growing at about 6.6%.
Huh?
But interestingly, Colombia and Peru show much higher growth rates.
Oh, yeah.
Colombia is at 8.395% CAGR, and Peru is at 7.884%. Really strong growth.
Suggest burgeoning industries there, too. Maybe resources again.
Quite possibly, yes. Similar drivers to what we speculated for Canada or Mexico, perhaps.
Okay, Middle East.
Middle East growing strongly, too. From $130 million towards $300 million by 2033, with a 7.167% CAGR. Saudi Arabia is the clear leader there, with a very robust 7.829% growth rate.
Likely linked to all the development projects happening there.
That would be my guess. Infrastructure, industrial diversification, it all demands rugged tech.
Makes sense. And finally, Africa.
Africa, starting from a smaller base, around $97 million in 2021, but projected to more than double to $208.5 million by 2033. The CAGR is 6.224%.
Key countries.
South Africa and Nigeria are highlighted. South Africa growing towards $67 million, Nigeria towards $53 million. It shows that need for durable tech is becoming more prevalent across the continent as well, supporting development.
So when you look at all this data together, what's the big takeaway?
For me, it's the sheer universality of the trend. It's not just one or two regions. We're seeing solid, consistent growth pretty much everywhere. North America, Europe, Asia, South America, Middle East, Africa. The pace varies, sure, but the direction is the same.
Yeah, it's not just a niche thing in, say, Silicon Valley or Western Europe. It's global. And these growth rates, often pretty high, consistently above 5 or 6%, sometimes much higher. What does that signal to you about, underlying needs?
I think it signals a fundamental shift. Industries are operating in more demanding environments, or maybe just recognizing the cost of not having durable tech. Construction, logistics, manufacturing, emergency services, field research, utilities, the list goes on. It seems resilient technology is moving from being a niche requirement to, almost a baseline necessity in many sectors globally.
Right. So, wrapping this up, this deep dive has shown us a global rugged phone market that's not just surviving, it's thriving. Going from just under $3 billion in 2021 and heading confidently towards over $6 billion by 2033, that's pretty impressive expansion.
It really is. And looking at the source material, this cognitive market research analysis, it just highlights how these perhaps less glamorous markets can hold real economic weight.
Yeah.
And they reflect these broader trends, digitalization, industrial activity, the need for reliability in tougher spots.
Definitely food for thought.
Well,
So here's something for you, our listeners, to chew on. Thinking about this relentless growth, what totally new applications or environments do you see driving this demand for durable tech in the future? And maybe, how could this push for ruggedness eventually influence the design or features of even mainstream consumer electronics down the line? Worth pondering. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tracing this really incredible journey in the tech world. It's the surprising evolution of rugged phones. Now, when you first hear rugged phone, what do you picture? Maybe something clunky. a basic brick, just something you can't break. Well, get ready because the reality is far more sophisticated, way more intelligent, and frankly, pretty fascinating. Think of it like an unexpected hero's journey, but for tech. So for this deep dive, we've been digging into the enduring ascent of rugged phones by cognitive market research, our mission, to unpack the truly surprising shifts in this market. We want to explore the key drivers pushing these devices into really critical roles, the unique challenges they face, and, where they're headed. We're going to try and show why they're not just crucial in certain sectors, but how their story actually connects to broader tech trends that, directly affect you. Okay, so let's unpack this. Cognitive market research says the rugged phone market is seeing some robust growth, but what's really driving this ascent? I mean, beyond just being durable, what's behind this big expansion we're seeing?
Right, that's a crucial distinction. And what's really insightful here, I think, is that the main drivers go way beyond just being tough. It's more about enabling completely new ways of operating in environments where, normal tech just wouldn't cut it. We're talking about a fundamental shift from just survivable tech to mission-critical intelligence. Industries like defense, aerospace, renewable energy, even public safety, they aren't just looking for something that won't break easily. They need devices that can literally extend human capabilities in places that were previously, impossible or incredibly challenging to work in. In defense and aerospace, for instance, fail-proof communication is just baseline for complex missions. And then you look at fields like solar and wind energy. They need hardware that operates effectively, intelligently, in relentless outdoor conditions, day in, day out.
That makes total sense for those really demanding environments. Reliability isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely necessary. But I'm curious, is there a risk they become too complex, lose some of that simple, tough appeal? Or are there maybe some specific, surprising examples showing just how advanced these devices are getting without losing that core resilience?
That's a really good question. And the answer seems to be they're integrating advanced capabilities, but without sacrificing the durability part. It's not just about tougher phones anymore. They're becoming these integrated, intelligent solutions. The source actually points to a pretty significant development from back in October 2023. Kyocera collaborated with some other tech companies. They were developing comprehensive safety solutions specifically aimed at schools and government facilities. Now get this. It involved ultra-rugged Android devices, but integrated with specialized sensory tech. Think environmental sensors picking up hazardous gases or maybe precise accelerometers for fall detection, and all that data feeding into AI-powered gun detection systems secured by really robust networking. Yeah, so this partnership, it really highlights how these emerging technologies like AI and IoT are carving out completely new paths for rugged phones. Applications that go way beyond traditional fieldwork, bringing advanced safety tech to, pretty unexpected places.
Okay, wow. That's definitely not what first comes to mind when you say rugged phone. That's a huge leap in functionality, moving right into areas like public safety. And what I find really interesting here is how this next driver shows a kind of fundamental shift, how industries view these devices, their widespread adoption in military industrial construction, but for operational efficiency and productivity. What's driving that integration?
Yeah, it really boils down to these industries looking for a competitive edge. And a serious uplift in performance. They're turning to these devices as advanced tools to fundamentally enhance how they operate, ensure safety, boost productivity overall. In military settings, rugged devices give you that dependable performance you absolutely need for complex missions out in the field. Every piece of data, every communication is non-negotiable there.
Right.
And for industrial and construction sectors, they're adopting this tech to dramatically improve project management, elevate safety protocols too, and ensure much greater precision in their workflow. So this isn't just about having a phone that survives a drop anymore. It's about the seamless integration of things like robotics, AI, and IoT into these rugged devices. This convergence lets one device act like, a foreman's office, a safety monitor, and a diagnostic tool, all while putting up with the harshest conditions. That offers a pretty substantial competitive advantage in these super demanding work environments.
So we've covered the incredible growth, the diverse drivers. But like any booming market, there's always a flip side, right? What are the key restraints? The main hurdles stopping even wider adoption for these super tough, super smart devices?
That definitely brings up an important point about market access and, the cost of this kind of cutting-edge durability. The chief restraint, according to cognitive market research, is the rising cost of manufacturing. And this isn't just a general price hike. It's because of increased expenses for specialized raw materials. We're talking reinforced glass, unique sealing tech, high-performance polymers.
Specialized stuff.
Exactly. plus rising labor and energy costs.
Hmm.
All these things inherently push up the production prices. And the consequence, well, these pricing pressures limit access for consumers, particularly in cost-sensitive sectors, which naturally can slow down the overall adoption rate. For manufacturers, it's a real balancing act. How do you keep prices competitive while maintaining that high quality and profitability everyone expects? And how do you do that without stifling the very innovation that makes these devices so compelling or limiting their expansion into broader markets? Just scaling up production for such specialized devices also presents its own unique challenges that add to that higher price point.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, high-tech, durable materials, specialized manufacturing, it usually comes with a premium. But okay, let's shift gears a bit to the exciting part, the emerging trends in rugged phones. How are they evolving beyond just being physically tough, beyond just surviving a drop? So what does this all really mean for the future of these devices?
It means we're seeing a really clear shift towards what the research calls intelligent durability. Devices are moving well beyond just physical toughness. They're now featuring advanced functions that truly transform how work gets done in the field.
Mhm.
Think about AI voice assistants, for example.
Okay.
This means an engineer, maybe on a noisy wind turbine platform, can pull up schematics or run diagnostics completely hands-free. That's critical for safety and efficiency. Or predictive maintenance capabilities. The phone's own sensors can analyze data from connected machinery, spot anomalies, maybe even predict component failures before they happen. That minimizes costly downtime, especially in remote sites. And seamless IoT connectivity means these devices become the central hub for whole ecosystems of smart tools and sensors out there. A lot of today's rugged smartphones come packed with really impressive features too, like thermal imaging.
Right, thermal imaging.
Yeah, allows professionals to spot overheating parts in industrial machinery or even find people in zero visibility situations. Critical stuff. They often feature high-capacity batteries lasting for days sometimes, and even modular accessories.
Hmm.
Things like detachable secure earbuds for communication or even mini projectors for on-site presentations.
Mini projectors, wow.
Yeah, and of course, precise navigation tools are pretty much standard now for field ops. So these upgrades, they let rugged phones perform a much wider range of roles while still keeping that incredible resilience. Makes them suitable for demanding field pros, sure, but also maybe tech-savvy users who just find themselves in extreme conditions and need that unmatched reliability.
It's amazing how versatile they're becoming. It's almost like the world needed this kind of resilient intelligence, you know? And speaking of needs, how did a massive global event like the COVID-19 pandemic, which, at first might seem unrelated, how did that uniquely impact this specific market? It feels a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's actually a great example of how resilience was tested and really proved its worth. Initially, sure, like many industries, there were those predictable disruptions.
Hmm.
Supply chains, production, it all got hit.
Right.
However, what followed pretty quickly was this significant and maybe surprising surge in demand for reliable, durable communication devices,
Hmm.
especially in critical sectors, healthcare, logistics, public safety, as essential services relied more and more on field-based operations and remote communication to navigate the pandemic's challenges. Rugged phones really emerged as a vital tool. They were essential for, well, everything from tracking supplies in packed hospitals to coordinating emergency response teams out in the community. So the market didn't just recover. It saw substantial growth. Organizations worldwide basically started prioritizing resilience and reliability in their tech choices, trying to navigate the uncertainties of that whole era.
What an incredible journey then for the rugged phone. From what many of us might have first pictured, that simple, tough brick, to this sophisticated, intelligent tool that's become indispensable in so many different sectors. It's truly fascinating how it navigates both market challenges like cost and these huge global disruptions like the pandemic and just emerges stronger, more vital than before.
Absolutely. And I think a crucial aspect here is that these devices, they're really more than just tough tech now. They embody this vital blend of resilience and advanced functionality. And that blend is becoming increasingly crucial in our, let's face it, pretty unpredictable world. Understanding this seemingly niche market actually gives you incredible insight into broader tech trends. Trends like technology integration, miniaturization, adaptability, often being pushed forward under extreme pressure in these rugged applications.
And that leads to a final, maybe provocative thought for you, our listener, to consider. Given how many of you are already tracking advancements in things like AI and IoT, and thinking about how the extreme demands on rugged phones are actually accelerating the miniaturization and the resilience of these technologies for potentially all devices, are we maybe seeing a future where rugged simply becomes standard in the everyday technology we all use? Something to think about.